Some of you, your sweat is emotionally triggered. And I think it's time we have this conversation. Welcome to Sweat Confessions. Thank you for visiting HAK, Hyperhidrosis Awareness YouTube channel, and we encourage you to share this link with your family, friends, and loved ones. Some of you, your sweat is emotionally triggered. Why? Because we've received direct messages, and I've also received WhatsApp chats from clients, I don't like calling them patients, but from clients living with hyperhidrosis. And whenever we do the Q&A session, it's evident that when they are not in a situational anxiety, if they are not placed in that situational anxiety, that everything about their sweat, it's okay. For instance, are they sweating when they are just at home doing nothing? No. So when does your sweat typically start? It starts when I leave the house, nikienda kwa matatu. I'm inside a matatu that is very stuffy, the windows are closed, and I've seated next to a place where I have no access to, ventilation, there is no air. Another thing will be, I have an interview. I have a job interview tomorrow, and I don't know what to do. I'm thinking about it. It's giving me stress. I feel anxious. Anxiety is taking over. So meaning, once the situational anxiety is managed and controlled, they're okay. Then we have those who, they just sweat from Monday to Monday. Anxiety is a trigger. So if your sweat is emotionally triggered and you're focusing on a particular treatment because probably you read online, which I encourage, you can tell people not to seek knowledge. Knowledge is important. But if you're going to go to a forum and see what people are talking about or saying about, their situational anxiety, or they used a particular product and it helped them, face those situational anxieties or other forms of triggers, then instinctively you would want to do the same thing. You'll want to get that product. So the first thing you'll do is go online, depending on your vicinity or your location. In this case, let us bring it back here in Kenya. So you saw a particular brand online or in that forum and you want that brand, and it's not in Kenya. You've extended your search online, you've Googled, you found it maybe in the States or in Europe, and the cost is astronomical, especially if you want to factor in shipping fee, VAT, and whatnot, the whole thing. So you request HAK to get 1, 2, 3 for you. So we have two types of people, two types of clients. There's a client who refuses to do sweat diagnosis, and when you refuse to give them what they want because they just want a product, you've engaged in a Q&A sessions because you want to understand the root cause of their sweat, but they don't want to engage, then all of a sudden you become a con artist, you're all these negative things. Then you have another client, and by the way, for such clients, we always request that they'll, just search for help elsewhere. I mean, if you don't want to engage in a Q&A, it doesn't make sense. If you're going to consult a doctor, you don't tell the doctor, don't ask me questions, just give me what I want. The doctors have to ask you questions so that they can understand the root cause of your problem. That way they'll be able to know what to advise in terms of treatments or prescriptions in terms of medication. So it's the same thing when it comes to your sweat. If you refuse to engage in the Q&A and you just want a product, you don't even know the purpose of that product. And if you buy the product and it doesn't work, you'll just end up doing the same thing. You'll accuse the organization, you're going to call them con artist and any other thing under the sun that you can think of, which clearly shows the type of a person you are, the type that doesn't follow instructions, the type that wants everything done their way. It's either their way or the freaking highway. But I beg to digress. So you have client 1 and you have client 2. Client number 2 will listen and they will engage in the Q&A and they will try the medication or the treatments, or they will even listen to the advice that they're being given. There is that important question courtesy of sweat diagnosis unit. Is your sweat mild, excessive, or extreme? And then there's another important question. Does anxiety affect your sweat? And is your anxiety clinical or situational? There are those who will claim their anxiety is clinical, but after we demand for a prescription, was there a clinical diagnosis that was done to verify and to ascertain that your anxiety is clinical? No, they don't have any clinical diagnosis. Is there any medication? Are you under any form of anxiety medication? No. So your sweat is more situational. There are those who will ask the difference because they don't understand. And once we explain, a majority, they fall under situational anxiety. Only few, and I'm talking of few, very few. I've encountered how many? Like 3 that have clinical anxiety. If your anxiety is clinical, then you're under a form of medication, prescription medication, which are mainly beta blockers for your anxiety. If you've run out of those medication, then you're going back. Your sweat definitely is coming back with a bang. So you need to go for another prescription. But besides that, you also need to learn how to manage your emotional issues. So there are clients who would ask for a particular brand, and this I'm talking about topical treatments, and I'm forced to explain to them, as I should, that this product does not control anxiety. This product is designed to manage excessive sweating. So if you're going to buy this product, and at the back of your mind you're buying it because you want to focus, you want the product to manage your anxiety, then you're buying the wrong product for the wrong use. Anxiety, it's an emotional issue, meaning it's going on inside you. So you need to focus on what's going on inside your mind. That way, you need to also develop ways and measures on managing your anxiety. For instance, you have a job interview, and this one, take it from me, never ever stress yourself. Never ever, ever rehearse your job interview. No. You see, nowadays what employers are doing, employers are not dumb, they're not stupid, they know. You spend a whole night trying to impress them. So you're busy rehearsing, changing your tone, your accent, everything. You want to sound so right. But as soon as you get there, they want to know you. Do you have a life past employment? They will just ask you a question out of the blue that is not even related to your JD, to what you're applying for. And most of us fail because we are not connected. You took a whole day, a whole night, hours just, rehearsing and practicing, even how you're going, your posture, everything. It's like you're about to audition for an epic movie. My lord, I'm just here to let you know that I'm going to take your company to the greatest. No, you don't have to do that. You really don't have to do any of that. The most important thing that you need to do, relax, don't even think about that interview. The only thing that matters is you. You have the knowledge, you have the skills, that's what they are looking for. And since you know yourself, you have the knowledge of thyself, that is all that matters. So don't think about it. In fact, sit down, watch a movie, read a book, listen to some nice music, sleep early, wake up early, fix yourself a very nice breakfast, be there early, relax. You're not talking to God, you're talking to a human being. Do not show fear. It's the greatest piece of advice that I've given the hyperhidrosis family. And for those who have listened, it has worked for them. Another thing will be, once you get the job, speak to your line manager or the HR. If the line manager does not help you, go straight to the HR. Talk to the HR about your sweat issues. If they have a certain dress code, for instance, those who wear full official from neck down, or even from head to toe, you have to shave like unanyoa kama mfungwa, and you have to dress down and all that stuff. If you're wearing official from head to toe, and you know you're going to wear certain shirts that are going to show your sweat stains, you know the drill. Talk to the HR. Explain to them why you're experiencing challenges with certain type of... Talk to them. That is also a way of raising awareness. But you see, most of us, we choose not to because we are afraid. We have already made assumptions, and yes, we have made assumptions that if I talk to the HR, they won't listen. You've already made a decision, they will not listen, so there's no point of talking. Most of you have worked in an organization for years, and your employer is unaware of your sweat issues. I had that experience the first time when I talked to my colleagues about my sweat issues. It's only few that noticed, but a majority, they never. Even after telling them, they all had different views. And the most important of them all was they didn't believe. And they told me I did a good job of camouflaging. But when I did, I got that closure. So nowadays, I freely talk about my sweat issues. Even when I was taking my passport, I had to let the other person know. And the reply enye alinipatia, aliniambia watu wengi wamekuja hapa kuchukua passports na wako na hii shida. And they had to find ways, coping mechanisms of assisting those with sweat issues to get there, to capture their biometric. Of course, we have other organizations where we have a long way to go, but we are going to get there. So following instructions is important. If you get topical treatments, for instance, you have excessive sweating of the underarms, and you have an antiperspirant to apply at night, please follow instructions. Few clicks, 2 strokes only, dab and apply. And there are videos. There are videos on our YouTube channel that are even showing you how to do it. Amongst other important information, you don't shave and apply. Everything is out there for you. So why is it that you'll get a PM version and apply during the day? And then it reacts with your sweat because you're applying while you sweat. You do not apply an antiperspirant when you sweat because it's going to react with your sweat. And you're going to scratch yourself more than a DJ will scratch on the decks. You will feel that sensation. It will feel itchy. Do not overdo. 2 clicks, 2 strokes. Just take your liquid roll-on for the night, shake, and then once you roll upwards, that's first stroke, and then do the same, repeat the same. Those are 2 strokes, and then you use your palm to rub gently until it completely absorbs. There are those who follow instructions. It has worked for them. We've even shared their testimonials. And then there are those who face a little bit of challenge, but once they're able to get back on track in terms of the instructions, they see the difference. Then there are those who completely fail to follow instructions, to listen. They just want to do their own things. We also have those who still self-medicate. Even after I did a video with Dr. Hashim, and he himself is said the biggest challenge he has with people living with hyperhidrosis is that when they get to him, they already started themselves off with medication. Did they get a prescription? No. They just self-medicate. So it makes it hard for him to write a prescription, because what if he's writing the same thing you're using? Even after all that, I still get people asking me, what's your take on anticholinergics, the likes of glycopyrrolate, the likes of oxybutynin, and the rest. And the first question is, did you get a prescription? No. Just direct me where I can buy because I need them. Even after the videos, and these are not just first timers, Usi mgeni, huyu ni mtu amekuwa akifollow HAK, so sometimes it's really frustrating. See, if you want to self-medicate, that's on you. But please understand that these anticholinergics have side effects. Not just the common dry mouth and the rest, they have side effects. It's imperative for the doctor to conduct medical tests to rule out possibilities of other underlying causes, and then again start you off with a dosage, and that dosage will direct him, lead him to know whether they can add or reduce. You'll be given a 2 weeks dosage to see how the medication will react with you. Same thing goes to antihyphoresis machine treatment. The first month of that machine, you have to do your sessions daily. Second month, you have to schedule your sessions. So if you're going to do sessions once a week, how do you expect your sweat to reduce? You see, I've mentioned levels of treatment from level 1, which is topical treatments. We have level 2, which is medical treatments. We have level 3. Actually, level 2 should be antihyphoresis machine treatment, and then you have level 3, which is medical treatments. And medical treatments are good and rather advisable for people who sweat in more than 1 areas, 3 or 4 areas of the body. These include larger areas of the body, because that way the doctor can conduct medical tests, do proper diagnosis to ascertain whether your sweating is primary or secondary. Sweat diagnosis. These are steps, these are Q&As that even help you understand your sweat background. They help you understand your type and category of sweat, whether it's hyperhidrosis, bromhidrosis, or even if you have anhidrosis, or if you have fish odor syndrome. So it's important. Know your category, follow instructions. And I repeat again, follow instructions. It doesn't matter which type of treatment that you choose to go for. Enjoy the journey and not the destination. Until next time, stay safe and welcome to the Sweat Relationship.